Hilux owners have been trucking through the mud lately. Last year, their dad died and stole their truck. And in our most requested ad of this year, they're getting divorced.
Which brings us to the matter of the Toyota Hilux. Now, the fairest solution here is shared custody.
Here's its things. Favourite chamois.
How good is this? You taking them fishing?
Yeah. Obvious. You want to come?
Can I drive?
Hilux, an unbreakable connection. Toyota.
Oh, what a feeling. Loneliness. This isn't healthy. You should make like Isuzu and go your own way. D, why sell a truck with a divorce?
Because they're not selling it with divorce. It's about the feel-good factor of getting back together. This might look like a sweet little rom-com. This is a deeply metaphorical ad. You see, Australians have broken up with Toyota, or at least they're cheating on Toyota. Hilux used to be the #1 selling ute for nearly a decade, dropped off last year. And also, because we don't have a car manufacturing industry in Australia anymore, the Chinese ones are coming over without tariffs. So there's all these cars to play with. And so that's completely disrupted brand loyalty. Toyota's still the one that Australians are most loyal to. 3 out of 4 Toyota owners say they'll buy another Toyota, but Toyota wants to ram home the familiarity, and that's why they've used a rom-com. And you know, with a rom-com, you have a couple meet, then there's a conflict, and then they get back together. And in a way, this ad is, it starts in the middle, in the conflict, in the lawyer's office. You know, 4 seconds into it, that couple's going to get back together. And Toyota knows that as well. People watch rom-coms because they're predictable and they're familiar and they make us feel good. And even the song, that hokey, you know, Can't Fight That Feeling Anymore, links to the Toyota, Oh, What a Feeling. And that's what they're trying to create, is that feeling of familiarity. Come back to us, you know what you loved about us.
It's unusual in that they're beating us over the head with it. And I like the fact that they're doing that, right? It's unusual these days that you'll make a piece of advertising and they'll just run it and run it and run it and run it. Like, I would have seen that at least 20 times, and yet you don't get sick of it. And I suppose you don't get sick of it because there's a story there, don't you think?
I reckon this is a story about divorce. And I reckon advertising in our society used to be much more about aspirational life, the world you could live, and now it's much more about reality and acceptance of actually this is the world you live in. And I reckon they're kind of trying to reflect back all the struggles that we play and we have in life. And I reckon what the best line in this ad is at the end when the guy goes, "Can I drive?" He hasn't learnt a thing after the 6 years of things.
No, you can't, Gary. You're too controlling.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we're not together anymore. All I wanted to do was drive occasionally.
Well, that's why I wondered why wouldn't they have had sort of, you know, you can have a lot of fun online, I imagine, with the alternate end lines for the wife.
Well,
for the
I feel
partner.
like the final scene should be them driving away in the car together, but she's driving.
Totally.
Because he's asked to.
No, but that's bullshit, right? He's still a dick.
Yeah.
She'll accept him because she has to, but that's life. And reflecting that, she doesn't have to accept him. She chooses to for whatever reason.
No, good luck checking your Twitter this week.
But that's life, and it's reflecting back the life we have. We no longer need brands to say, you can have this big glossy life over here. You just want brands to understand the pain we all go through.
There's nothing real about this. This is hokey. This is a couple sharing custody of their car. This is absolutely, I mean...
That's what happens when you divorce. You work out who gets the assets.
You don't share custody of a car.
You work out who gets the assets.
I mean, I'd be fighting over my kids and be like, you take them. No, they're all yours. You take them.
I mean, I love it. I think it's great. I think there's a lot in it as well in the fact that, you know, 40% of people go through a divorce and the rest of us have been witness and bystander to one, so it's relevant to everyone. But even beyond that, like, I just really love all the tropes that they've put in there from those divorces. You know, the gifting to try and buy the affection of the ute, the, you know, the handing over of the chamois, the special toy. Like, I think there's a lot in there, and to your point, that's why you can just keep, you know, seeing it over and over again and finding a new thing in it.
It's got to be a risk, though, Russell, because, like, it is divorce. It happens to a lot of people, but it also can be an incredibly traumatic, process for people.
I agree.
Who can be customers of, you know, that you're potentially pitching to. And some of these tropes that they are having really light-hearted fun with are things that custody of children or whatever that might be actually really things that tear families apart.
Yeah.
It's a risky area to go into.
I agree with you. I absolutely agree because, you know, for many people, divorce is not pleasant.
No.
Yeah, and it doesn't create a good storyline. However, in the advertising world, of course, it's fantasy, right? You can create aspirational fantasy. You can create a notion where, you know, you are, breaking up the assets and one of them is a vehicle and have fun off the back of it. So I think we all appreciate that they're just having a laugh and, you know, providing us with 45 seconds of entertainment, which, again, there's not a lot of that going on in the advertising world. Just a film. It's a mini film, beginning, middle, end. It's something we can relate to, and I'm sure it's very powerful for them because they just keep on running it.
Yeah.
And it's high emotion, you know, it's a divorce, it's high emotion, I'm engaged, and therefore the brand can leverage off that emotion, positive or negative, is still an emotional story to attach to.
Yeah.